Robert, welcome. I wanted to ask you first, since we're here in the Folger, you are directing Henry V. What kind of research do you do as a director, and how does being in a place like this affect the way you're thinking about the events behind this play?
I mean, as much as I possibly can, I think is the answer, and I think, you know, having the resource is incredible, you know. I think that I just like to soak it all up and think about it all. At the end of the day, it may not make it to the stage, but I think it can certainly enrich and really help the rehearsal room. That's the great delight of working here, is having those resources.
Tell me a little bit about how you're thinking about staging a play about gigantic kingdom-wide warfare on our intimate Folger stage.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the success of the space is always how complicit the audience feel in the action. That's, I think, the great advantage of the Folger. And so I don't think there's I think this particular play that asks us to use our imagination is quite incredible. And I think that's the key to where I'm going with it, is with a very open hand, how can one suggest and use the best special effects factory that we have, which is our imagination, to actually portray some of these epic battles and the scope of the piece.
So do you feel like people need to be prepared to use, there's these lines from the chorus that says, you know, essentially, I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to ask you to imagine things that you just can't see. In a way, I see that, I hear that and I think, oh, well, now it's going to be even harder because they've told me what I'm up to.
Right.
How do you handle a scene where you've got to make people start thinking about what they're about to do in the theater?
So I think that we have that ability, and you look at, you know, children, and they'll play for hours with, well, whatever, you know, a meaningless piece of something, and it will become anything it needs to be. And I don't quite know when we put that away, you know, as adults. When do we decide, I don't actually need that anymore, you know, it's childish, or it's
now we
immature.
pay for it.
Right. So to me, the illusion, or the great illusion of theatre, is when you can suggest something, you know it's happening, you know you're being manipulated. That's not real rain, that's not real snow, whatever it might be, that's not real blood, but at the same time, you buy into it in a way that it somehow affects you.
I know very well, but just the same, I want to believe it.
Right.